I was home on leave, for the first time in 7 years. No salutes. No boots. No base alarms. Just me, a civilian again, carrying my duffel and the kind of fatigue you don't sleep off in a weekend. It was December. The streets were lit in gold. I hadn't had a family Christmas in almost a decade, and I wanted this one. Not gifts. Not lights. Just to sit at the same table as the people who raised me. To feel like I still belonged. But then, 3 days before Christmas, I got a text from my dad. Your sister's husband will be there. You know how tense things got last time. Maybe sit this one out. It's better for everyone. Better for everyone. Except me. I stared at the message. Read it twice. And then the last line crushed whatever was left. This is a family event. Please respect that. Like I wasn't family. Like the uniform I wore for them suddenly made me inconvenient. I didn't reply. Not out of grace. But because if I opened my mouth, I'd burn everything down. I spent Christmas Eve alone. Watched It's a Wonderful Life. With a takeout container on my lap. And my phone face down. No calls. No invites. Not even a Merry Christmas from my own mother.
Fine.
They made their choice. They chose silence. So I gave it to them. 5 days later. New Year's Eve morning. I woke up to 10 missed calls. And one voicemail that made my blood freeze. This is Robert Hanley, your parents' legal counsel. There's been an urgent matter concerning the property deed and financial signatures. Please call me back immediately. Suddenly, I was family again. But they didn't know one thing. When they uninvited me from their table, they also severed the only tie holding their house together. My name, my signature, my generosity. They thought I was just the daughter who left. But what they forgot was, I'm also the one who paid off the damn house. My name is Riley Monroe. And from wherever you're watching this, stay with me. Because the home they locked me out of was built on my sacrifices. And now they were about to learn what it costs to shut out a soldier. I called him back. The lawyer, sitting at my kitchen table, still in pajama pants, barefoot, heart pounding like I was back in combat.
His voice was dry.
Measured. Miss Monroe, I'm contacting you on behalf of your parents. It's regarding the home equity agreement from 2020. It seems they're trying to refinance, but your signature is required to release the lien. I leaned back in the chair, blood turning cold. The lien I placed when I paid off their mortgage? He cleared his throat.
Correct.
You contributed the full amount. $148,000, I believe. I nodded to no one. Yeah, after my second deployment. They were drowning in debt, and I didn't ask for repayment. Yes, but you did require that your name be added as a lien holder, which gives you legal authority over the property.
Right.
I'd done that out of caution. A soldier's instinct. But I never imagined I'd need to use it.
Until now.
They want me to sign off? I asked.
Yes.
Without your signature, the bank won't release funds. I paused. Then, tell them no. Pardon. Tell them this soldier's no longer covering their expenses. They locked me out of their Christmas. They don't get to unlock that house without facing me first. Silence. Very well. I'll inform them. I hung up, sat in stillness, stared at the framed photo on the wall, me in uniform standing next to them, all of us smiling like love wasn't conditional. But it was. God, it was. Because the moment I wasn't easy, wasn't convenient, wasn't the good daughter who nodded and paid the bills. They discarded me like trash.
But now?
They needed me again. And I wasn't the woman I was before. That day, I went to the county office, filed a freeze on the property title, not out of spite, out of principle. Then I drafted my own letter to Robert Hanley, legal counsel. Per the terms of the 2020 agreement, I declined to release the lien on the Monroe residence. This is a formal decision. No future requests will be considered. Signed, Riley Monroe. I mailed it, certified, because if they wanted to treat me like a stranger, I'd treat them like clients with unpaid debts. And this time, I had all the paperwork. 3 days later, my sister showed up at my door. No warning, no apology, just a cold knock. And fake smile energy. She stood there in heels and fur, the same way she always did, like life owed her something just for existing. "Riley," she said, "can we talk?" I stepped outside. Didn't invite her in. Didn't flinch. "You've got 5 minutes." She sighed, rolled her eyes.
Come on.
"Don't be dramatic. It was just one Christmas. You know how Dad is."
Tense.
Old-fashioned. I stared at her. "He told me I wasn't welcome. You didn't even text." She waved her hand. "Yeah, but now things are complicated. We're trying to get a loan for some upgrades. The kitchen, maybe even a pool. You know, stuff for the grandkids." "Whose grandkids?" I asked. "Because you and your husband don't let mine call him Grandpa." She blinked. Didn't answer. Then she got to the point. "Look, the lawyer said you're blocking everything. Mom's stressed. Dad's furious. Can you just sign the release so we can move on?" "They told me not to show up to Christmas dinner," I said. "So I didn't. Now they need me? That's not how family works. That's how users operate." She bristled. Her voice sharpened. "You always think you're better because you wore a damn uniform." I stepped forward, eyes steady. "I don't think I'm better. I am better than people who treat their daughter like a wallet until she says no." She flinched, then muttered, "You'll regret this. You're cutting yourself off." I almost laughed. "You already cut me off. I'm just honoring it legally." She stormed off, heels clacking like thunder down the stairs. I watched her go. Then I walked back inside, shut the door, and felt something I hadn't felt in years.
Peace.
Not revenge. Not anger. Just a quiet, solid knowing. I owed them nothing. Not after the silence. Not after the exile. Not after the years I paid their debts with deployment checks. And never once asked for a thank you. This wasn't war. It was boundary. And this soldier finally realized, not every home is worth marching back into. The next move came fast. A Facebook post from my mother. A soft-lit photo of the house. A caption dripping in performance. "Sometimes the people you love most become strangers with pens and paperwork. Please pray for us. We just wanted to fix up our home for the family." Dozens of comments.
Sympathy. Praise.
Poor Mrs. Monroe. Families should stick together. Kids today have no heart. None of them knew. None of them had seen the text she sent me a week before Christmas. "Don't come. We've decided to keep it peaceful this year." Peaceful. They wanted peace without accountability. Unity without inclusion. My money without my presence. But I didn't reply. I didn't argue. Instead, I posted one thing. A photo from 2020. The signed lien agreement with all 3 of our signatures. Below it, my caption. $148,000. Paid in full. Merry Christmas. No rage. No hashtags. Just a number and the truth. The comments changed.
Fast.
Some deleted theirs. Others started asking questions. "Wait, Riley paid off the house. This is her equity? Why wasn't that part mentioned?" My mother didn't respond. She just quietly deleted the post 2 hours later. Then came a message from their lawyer. This time more careful. "Given the recent circulation of documents, your parents are hoping to come to an amicable resolution." I didn't write back. My lawyer did. "My client is not interested in renegotiating boundaries she established after emotional and financial abuse. No further contact is welcome." I was done playing diplomat. In a war they started. Done cushioning egos. Done funding entitlement. I kept working. Paid my own rent. Helped a local shelter with part of what I'd have sent them for New Year's. And slept easy. No guilt. No second thoughts. Because when people treat you like a transaction, you are allowed to treat them like a closed account. And me? I had closed it with interest. February came.
Cold. Still.
No calls. No apologies. And yet, word reached me. My sister was ranting to anyone who'd listen. At church, at her gym, even at my cousin's baby shower. Riley thinks she's above us now. She used her army money to buy control. She's punishing mom and dad for one mistake. One mistake. Like disinviting your daughter from Christmas. After she wore the flag on her back for nearly a decade. Was something you just sweep under the rug with a fake smile.
No.
This wasn't about pride. It was about dignity. But the part they didn't understand, the part that stung them the most, wasn't the lean. It wasn't the silence. It was the fact I hadn't come crawling back. They expected the same Riley from years ago. The one who'd wire $2,000. Just because they mentioned repairs. The one who forgave every slight. Because they're family. But I had changed. Deployment didn't just harden your body. It reshaped your soul. I had learned to fight. And more importantly, I had learned to leave. And while they waited for me, to show up again, apologetic, softened, desperate, I was living. I used my savings to finally take that trip to Seattle. Spent time with old friends. Volunteered at a VA clinic. Laughed in real ways. Not that forced, careful smile I wore every Christmas growing up. I even reconnected with someone. Someone who saw me, not as a wallet, or a war hero, or a family savior, but just Riley. And then it happened. A message from an old neighbor. Your parents put the house up for sale. Looks like they're desperate. Heard the bank circling. I didn't flinch. Didn't celebrate. Didn't even care about the money. Because they weren't losing the house. Because of me. They were losing it. Because they couldn't stand to treat the person who saved it like she mattered. They chose ego over gratitude. Control over connection. And now they'd get what they gave me that Christmas. An empty seat at the table. It was early March when the message came. Not through a lawyer. Not through Facebook drama. But directly. A text. From my father. Riley, we need to talk. It's important. 2 weeks of silence, and suddenly I was important. I didn't respond. But I watched the dots come back. We never meant to hurt you. Things got out of hand. Your mom's been under pressure. Your sister. She didn't mean it either. Please don't let this destroy the family. Destroy the family? I scrolled back up to that text from December. This is a family event. Please respect that. No invitation. No seat. No consideration. Now that the bank had frozen the loan. Now that the real estate agent had backed out. Now that their we'll figure it out attitude had turned into we're losing the house panic. Now, they remembered I was family. So I sent back one sentence. I'll meet you in public. We met at a diner. The kind where the coffee's burnt and the silence sticks. My father looked older. My mother had her church pearls on, the same ones she wore to every fake apology. My sister didn't come. Of course not. They smiled. Small. Tense. My mom spoke first. You look healthy. I know we've had tension. I said nothing. Just sipped my water. My dad leaned forward. We're sorry, Riley. We shouldn't have excluded you. You've done so much for us. We were wrong. The script was rehearsed. The tone too careful. Then the real reason surfaced. We're on the verge of losing the house. If you could just... I held up one hand. No. You didn't invite me to dinner. You uninvited me from family. I won't sign away the only protection I gave myself. Just because your consequences finally showed up. My mother's lip trembled. But we're your parents. I leaned in, voice calm. You taught me family is a choice. Every time you chose pride over love. Every time you made silence louder than support. Every time you asked for money. But never once asked if I was okay overseas. They looked like they were waiting for me to crack. To offer a middle ground. A lifeline. Instead, I stood. This meeting was a courtesy. I won't be signing. I won't be guilt. And I won't be the safety net. You only remember when the floor caves in. And as I walked out of that diner, past their stunned faces and cold coffee, I felt it in my chest. The weight was no longer mine. They tried one last thing. An envelope. slipped under my apartment door. No stamp, no return address. Inside, a handwritten letter, a photo, and a check. The letter? My mother's script. Always too neat to be honest. Riley, we've made mistakes.
We know that now.
We never meant to hurt you. The holidays weren't the same without you.
Please consider this check.
As a symbol of goodwill, let's rebuild. The photo? An old one. Me, age 12. Wearing a paper crown. Holding a present. Grinning like I didn't know what abandonment tasted like. And the check. $10,000. A payoff. A peace offering.
A bribe.
$10,000 to forget that they erased me. $10,000 to let them refinance the house. I paid off without hesitation. $10,000 to reopen a door. They slammed in my face over Christmas. I didn't tear it. I didn't burn it. I mailed it back. No note. No smiley face. No second chances. Just silence. The kind they taught me. Only this time it was mine. That week, I sat with Ari, my goddaughter, and watched her rehearse for her school play. She asked me, "Did you ever have a mom like mine?" I smiled.
No, baby.
But I became the woman I needed. And that was enough. No more trying to prove my worth to people who counted my dollars. But never my sacrifice. I changed my number. Filed a no-contact order. After they showed up at my job pretending to be confused, I gave their lawyer one final line. Tell them the lien stays. The silence stays. And this soldier has gone home to herself. Some people think the worst betrayals come from enemies. But I've learned it's the betrayal from blood that bleeds the slowest. Still, I didn't let it break me. Because peace isn't something they can give or take. It's something I built, on my own terms, brick by brick, without their permission. Spring came, and with it, the listing. I didn't go looking for it, but a friend texted, "Your parents' house is on Zillow." I clicked the link. There it was. Front porch, still cracked. That same broken swing they never fixed. Described as charming fixer-upper. Asking price. $312,000. Reduced twice. Desperate. The photo of the kitchen made me laugh. That outdated tile? I paid for that renovation after my second tour. They were trying to sell the past, as if it hadn't been built on my back. A week later, my parents moved out. Foreclosure looming. Buyers uninterested. No equity left, because my signature was never given. I never got a thank you. Never got a call. Just the echo of their silence. Finally turned inward. And you know what? It felt good. Not revenge. Not cruelty. Closure. I took that lien release form, the one they begged for, and I burned it. Not as a favor to them, but as a ritual for me. A final act of letting go. Then I bought a small cabin in the woods. 1 floor. Big windows. Quiet. And this time, every nail, every light switch, every dish was mine. No strings. No debts. No guilt. I hosted my first Thanksgiving there. Just me, a few real friends, and Ari, who ran around barefoot, and called it our magic treehouse. She asked, "Will they ever say sorry?" I shook my head.
They don't know how.
But we do, and we know how to mean it. After dinner, we sat under the stars, wrapped in blankets, watching her roast marshmallows too long. She handed me the burnt one and said, "This one's for being the strongest girl I know." I took it, grinning, not because it was true, but because she believed it. And maybe, finally,
so did I.
I wasn't the estranged daughter, or the forgotten soldier, or the ATM in combat boots. I was free, I was whole, and I was done writing checks for people who never learned to say thank you. The house is still on the market, still empty, like the apologies that never came. And me? I've never been fuller.